The patient we will see is suffering from recurrent depressions. This is his fourth attack. He has recovered from his 3 previous attacks, and he will undoubtedly recover from this one. He was photographed on 2 occasions. First in the evening, and then the next morning. Patients are more depressed in the morning and evening. Technically, we speak of diurnal fluctuations in the patient's mood. This man is a fairly prosperous farmer who has been living without any major worries, surrounded by a happy family. This depression, like the previous ones, has not occurred as a reaction to some tragedy, but has stricken him as unexpectedly as an attack of pneumonia. Severe depressions manifest themselves in 2 forms. The patients are either distinctly retarded, that is, generally slowed down in thinking and action, or they show agitation. The diagnosis can usually be made from the typical facial expression and dejected posture. In psychotic depressions, some or all of the following symptoms may also be present: a feeling of utter hopelessness, the conviction that one is sinful and worthless, delusional self-accusations, a general loss of interest and poverty of ideas with an almost complete inability to concentrate. Functional disturbances of sleep, appetite, and digestion are the rule. All patients with severe depressions present a very real danger with regard to suicide. The patient you will see presents the agitated type of depression, though the degree of his agitation fluctuates a great deal in the course of the day. In every one of his attacks, he has expressed the morbid fear of losing his eyesight. Such unfounded fears of losing faculties or worldly goods are common symptoms in depressive states. And while you were convalescing, you became depressed?
Yeah.
How did it start? How did you feel?
I don't know how it started, to tell the honest truth. I just had visions or dreams or something. That's honestly true.
Have you been worrying about money?
No.
Because you asked me the other day whether the bills are paid, and you were afraid that you couldn't pay the bills.
Oh, no. We have quite a little bit, you know, enough to be able to pay, all right? And then I have a stock of cattle and things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're all right for that part. Mr. didn't pay any at all on it yet?
Oh, yes, the bills are paid.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I thought you would, you know. Because we have a joint account, and the money is part hers and part mine.
Why are you crying?
Well, I'm lonesome.
You're lonesome for your wife?
Yeah, I wish I could go back home.
But as soon as you are better, you will go.
I bet she put me in here. I know it. I won't be able to get out.
Sure you will get out as soon as you are better. You had these spells before and you got better. Don't you remember?
Yeah, I remember, but I had a vision that I couldn't get over this one or something. I don't know why it seemed to be. I've had 2 or 3 before.
And you were afraid that you might get blind?
Yeah. This time. Think I won't?
No, certainly not.
Well, if I ain't blind, I can always make a living and help around anyway. I'd have to work anyway. Wasn't I was blind, eh? They'd keep me here.
They won't keep you here because you will get better and you will go back to your farm. Go back to work. Who's looking after the farm now?
My son, daughter, wife.
How often have you been sick, Ross? I mean, this nervous sickness.
This is my 4th attack.
Your 4th attack?
Yeah. I was 2 I was in here, and 1 I was in the general. I was in the Royal Victoria or some other hospital years ago.
And you always got better?
Yeah.
What treatment did you get?
I only got the electric shock treatment, but I remember, right? Well, they gave me a lot of different treatments for my head and things when I was in the hospital.
And the treatments helped?
Yeah, it seemed to.
might help again.
Well, I'm afraid they can't help this time. I'm too far gone. I'm too old now.
Oh, how old are you?
I'm over 60.
Well, you're not too far gone.
Pretty old, ain't it?
It's not old at all.
Well, if I was as good as lots of people, but I thought I was good. I don't know, when I come to be looking around and thinking things over, that I haven't been as good as I should have been.
You haven't been as good as you should have been?
No.
Why not?
I don't know why.
Why?
I haven't trusted in the Lord enough, I guess. I thought I did. I joined the church and all, and took communion, everything, but it didn't seem to help me any. I've been getting worse. Well, I don't say I've been getting worse, but since I came into the hospital, I had this awful vision that I wasn't going to get better. I don't know why.
But that's part of your sickness, the vision.
That's what they tell me.
You don't need to believe that.
I don't. I hope that's true. You ought to know. You're a doctor. I don't know. Why?
Since when have you been so restless?
Just this last few days.
And why? You don't know.
Yeah, because I'm full of the devil. Eh? I must be, eh?
Well,
I can't keep quiet.
You're not full of the devil. Why do you say that?
Well, I don't know why I say that, but I feel that way. Eh?
Ross, since when have you been feeling that way?
Oh, not so very long ago, Doctor. Not so very long.
Do you feel sick?
Yeah.
You have been sick before like that, haven't you?
I've been sick a few years ago.
Was it the same thing?
Electric shock, yeah. Cured me that time, but it's too late this time.
No, it isn't too late.
Yeah, I've had too many turns. Can I take off my sweater?
Yes, surely.
Oh. I find it terrible warm here. Don't you?
Well, it is warm. It isn't too warm.
It isn't?
Tell me, Ross,
Yeah?
why do you think that it won't help you this time?
Well, I don't know.
The electrical treatment has helped you before. It will help you
I
again.
know, but it won't help me this time, because I've had visions. Visions from heaven, or from hell, I don't know which.
What were the visions like?
They were always bad. Bad.
What were they like?
Oh, bad.
What were they like, Ross?
Well, I can't just explain it.
You're a farmer, aren't you?
Yes.
Are you a good farmer?
Well, an ordinary one. Not the best.
You have been living a good life?
I've tried to. Yes. Have a good wife.
Well, then
Good
there's no
wife.
reason for the devil to be
Good
with
wife. And a good daughter. Good wife and daughter.
You can't sit still at all.
No.
Is that why you're so restless at
Yeah,
night?
that's the reason.
Can you sleep at night?
Not very good. Not very well. Not very well.
Tell me, how's your general health?
Like,
How's your digestion?
well, it's not the best. Not the best, but still.
Can you eat?
I eat, yeah. I eat.
Why do you say the devil is in you? Where is it?
Well, I don't know what part it's in me.
And how do you know it is there?
Well, I had a vision from heaven or from hell, I don't know where. A vision telling me, Doctor, have mercy upon my soul, if you can. Doctor.
I want to tell you one thing, Ross.
Yeah?
We can help you with the treatment.
You can.
With the same treatment as before.
Oh, not the same one. No. It's too late. It's too late. Can I go back?
All right, Ross.
Can I go back?
Oh, wait a minute. All right. That's fine. We'll go back. Thank you.
Where's the one that brought me?
That way.
Where's the...
patient has exhibited pronounced motor agitation, a depressed mood, feelings of hopelessness and sinfulness, and distinct fluctuations of his condition in the course of 24 hours.
Do you think things are going well for you in the hospital?
Pretty much. Nothing about to say yet.
How about telling me a little bit about the current problem that you have?
At home?
Or what brings you to the hospital now?
Oh, well, first our family life sort of depressed me. And there's no real place you can start and say this is the reason I'm here. I had and still have fantasies that I'm aware of now and I can cope with a lot better than I could. And well, these were, when I first came in, were extremely vivid fantasies. And they seem real to me now. They're not so real anymore.
Can you tell me about the fantasies?
Yeah, well, basically, they were the color gray. And whenever I was faced with a dilemma, I'd lapse into this sort of a gray dream, and which was accompanied with passing out, and then I'd hear voices while I was passed out. The voices didn't resemble anyone I'd ever known before, voice. And they would speak to me and tell me different things, like they tell me to keep believing in them. Their way of doing things, that escaping through this was right. When I got up here, it seemed sort of ridiculous to keep referring to them, keep going back to them. They got violent for about a week. I would be able to control what I was doing for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. And then I came out of this, and I was completely away from it. I haven't had any gray images for a good 2 or 3 weeks now. Still, basically, my problem is sexual-wise. It's given me a lot of problems, and it's frustrated me a great deal.
Does this continue to bother you at this point?
It still does.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, since I was about the 7th grade, I never was extremely comfortable around girls, and more so around with my same sex. And it developed into sort of a bisexual arrangement. And where I was comfortable with both sexes, and I had relations with both sexes. And this still irritated and bothered me a great deal. There was a great amount of guilt involved. And then one time, one of the boys that I had relations with decided that he hadn't done so much on his part to provoke the incident. And he went around and told a couple of people about it, and I was branded pretty much as homosexual. And then, well, it seemed like half the school knew about it because I was constantly poked out and irritated. And then I thought the only way out was possibly to leave, just get up as much money as I could and go somewhere. And at this time I didn't think my parents knew about it. And went down to the bus station just before my bus left for New Orleans. My mother came driving up, and one of my friends had called her and told her what was going on. And then this seemed even worse than before. My parents should know about it, that they should be faced with the same thing. And then I went ahead and changed my ticket, went to go see my brother, and that didn't help much at all. Then I came back home finally and missed a great deal of school. But then that's when I first started coming up here as an outpatient, seeing Dr. Chanel. And the difficulties that were still there at school, and then I just completely broke down one afternoon. I just didn't have any control of myself or what I was thinking. And of course all this was accompanied with suicidal tendencies and so forth that I didn't have any control over either. And then I came up here.
What sort of symptoms did you have that made you feel, or people around you feel, that you should be in hospital?
I didn't realize I had any symptoms. I don't think anybody else did until Sunday afternoon. And just something happened to me. I don't know really what it was. Just seemed kind of like something snapped inside of me, and I just went to pieces. I couldn't hear. I could hear the people around me talking, but it didn't, it didn't make sense. I couldn't really understand them. And then when I was in the hospital, they put me in the hospital and gave me a shot, and I slept out Sunday night. And Monday morning when I woke up, I was hearing voices. It seemed like they were right back here. Right back here, I could hear them. And all of them, they were talking nice. They were all fussing and arguing and hollering and just screaming so loud. It's just, I just didn't like it.
Was that the first time you'd had this experience of hearing any voices?
This was the first time I heard the voices. And then the next morning I heard them, and excuse me. See, that was Monday morning. And then I woke up again. They gave me a shot. And then I was kind of drunk all day Monday. And when I woke up Tuesday morning, I heard them again. And then they gave me another shot. And I was drunk all day and I didn't know anything. And Wednesday morning, I woke up and I still heard them. And then they gave me another shot, and that's when I came here.
And how are you feeling now?
Right now? I don't know, just felt like that.
You hear the voices?
Not too much. I keep trying to push them away because I don't want to hear them.
Do there's anything in particular that you can detect?
Well, every now and then I can hear my daddy, and he's hollering and fussing at my mom because she spends too much money. Down there, she's just not a fit wife, and she just doesn't do right about my little brothers, and she's a poor manager, and she can't get along on the money that he gives her around the house. And then Mama hollers out and says that Tommy's not any good. He doesn't do me right. And that, well, let's see what else I hear. Ed, the girl next door, she's got a little boy. And she works all day. But when she does come home, she starts screaming. She'll holler at her little boy and she'll tell him to shut up and get out of the room and leave her alone. And he'll scream and he'll cry and he'll run through the house and bang things. And then the people across the hall from them, I can hear them fussing. And they're not as loud because they have an air conditioning. Keep the door closed and the voices don't come out too much. And they talk in Japanese, so I can't understand what they're talking about.
It seems that fussing upsets you.
When I was a little girl, we used to live up in Massachusetts. I can remember lots of times waking up in the middle of the night and hearing my daddy and mama fussing. And even after I grew up and was in high school, I'd be sleeping at night and wake up real suddenly and I'd hear Daddy just hollering, just yelling real loud.
What did you think about that?
It scared me.
It scared you? Why did it scare you?
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't like anybody to fuss and be mad.
It frightens you if someone is angry?
It scares me and it makes me feel bad. I just don't like it.
How do you think you can compare now with what you have been, your ordinary personality, what you have been in the past? Are you different?
I don't think so, not too much. At least I hope I'm not. I had lots of fun when I was in high school. Till last year. I had fun okay, but it was different.
Are you having fun now?
Right now? I'm not talking about all everybody fighting and arguing.
Do you feel that you're psychiatrically ill? What do you think about it?
I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
Think you need to be here?
I just want to do what everybody else wants me to do. I just want to keep everybody happy.
Compared with last time I saw you, you're feeling somewhat different, are you?
Quite so.
In what way, if you think you're different?
Well, like I told Dr. Haynes yesterday, I was sitting down and just thinking about what things that have happened since I've been here. And in my mind, I could just almost see a curtain opening or a door opening and everything just getting real light. And I could understand and, well, I knew a lot more things that had happened and could understand them. Where before they were just all confused and I just didn't know what to think about them. And it just seemed like when the door opened that, well, everything cleared up.
Is there any particular thing that you feel you understand now more than you did?
Well, not any one particular thing. It just seems like, that everything is just more clear. Things that I was so confused about that I didn't understand, I understand now. Can see why they happened and why I took them personally, and I shouldn't have, because it wasn't any really a reflection on me in any way.
Such as? What do you think of?
Well, I was feeling very rejected by my family. Felt that they just didn't care anything about me, that they didn't want me around, really. But I see now it wasn't like that at all. It was just my imagination building up things. My mother's going to nurse's school, and when she comes home, she's tired. And she doesn't feel like going out of her way, or maybe not out of her way, but doesn't feel like just being overly social, shall I say. And I can understand and see now her point on that, because after standing up 8 hours, either all day or all night, I can imagine how tired she would be. And it wasn't any personal thing against me. She just didn't feel like talking, maybe, or just wanted to rest.
You expected something else of her?
Well, it seemed like always before, whenever I'd be with her, she'd have something to talk about. She'd laugh with me and everything like that. But it seemed like that we just didn't have anything in common. We couldn't talk. And that serious. See, my family has taken in 2 of my cousins that are less fortunate than my family, and are giving them an education so that they can make something of themselves. And with the girls living there close in the family, well, they all had something in common, and they could talk and laugh and just generally have a good time. Well, I wasn't around. I didn't know much of what was going on, so I couldn't talk or join in with them. All I could do was sit there and listen, and I felt like I was being left out. Well, it really wasn't like that. They were trying to share their experiences with me, and I was just taking it personally, like they were just leaving me out of things. I have felt like that shell has been broken, and I feel like I can talk with people better, whereas before it was a big job to be friendly, even to talk to somebody. I got to the point where I'd rather stay at home and go visit someone. It was a lot easier. And I think that's one of the biggest things, being alone at home and then going down the coast, and I still felt alone, even though I was with my own family.
The other day when I talked to you, you were somewhat depressed and a little tearful at times.
Yes.
How do you feel in comparison to this now?
Well, I feel a lot better. And I believe the other day, I still didn't understand everything, and I was still confused. But it's been since then that this door has opened up and everything just seems to be so much clearer.
But you're not sure why the door's opened up?
No, I'm not sure why it's opened up. I just can see things a lot better than I was before. I see why people were talking to me about their problems, because really they were trying to look out for my interests. But they would talk about problems that, well, would be related to me, thinking that people weren't doing me right about a lot of things. See, my husband would talk to me about my mother, saying that she wasn't doing me right. And then my mother would talk to me about my husband, saying that he wasn't doing me right. And I was just caught in the middle trying to defend both of them, because I didn't want either one of them to say anything bad about the other. And
so you were caught in the middle?
I was caught right in the middle. And then my father would get me off on the side, and he'd talk about Mom. And I'm afraid to defend my mother to my daddy, because he's so big and loud and everything, and I just kind of shrink when I get around him.
Yeah.
He's always been so loud, and just that loudness has just kind of always scared me.
Well, thanks for talking with me this morning.
pourriez nous expliquer pourquoi vous êtes rentrée à l'hôpital?
Oui, je suis rentrée à l'hôpital, j'avais pris un rendez-vous parce que j'étais très nerveuse. Au bureau, je ne pouvais plus taper, j'étais très impressionnée par les gens. Et les gens, j'avais l'impression que les gens me suivaient. Partout où j'allais, je voyais quelqu'un derrière moi. Et vraiment, ça me faisait peur. Et je craignais énormément les gens.
Oui, pourquoi?
Sans raison, comme ça, je craignais les gens, j'en avais peur.
Vous aviez l'impression qu'ils vous suivaient?
Oui, l'impression qu'ils me suivaient. Pas pour des méchancetés, mais je faisais des... Lorsque je déplaçais mon bras, j'avais l'impression que les yeux se détournaient contre moi. Quelqu'un m'en voulait.
Quelqu'un de précis?
Non, tout le monde. Tout le monde m'en voulait, me faisait peur.
Et ça durait depuis longtemps?
Oui, ça durait 3 semaines avant que je prenne rendez-vous ici à l'hôpital.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres choses qui vous gênaient?
Oui, je ne pouvais plus manier mes doigts, remuer mes doigts, et puis j'étais comme blindée, comme figée sur place.
C'est-à-dire?
Eh bien, quand je me détournais d'un seul bloc. Impossible de coordonner mes gestes et mes mouvements ensemble.
C'est comme si votre corps avait été changé?
Oui, j'avais l'impression d'un dédoublement de moi. J'étais très mal dans ma peau et j'avais l'impression de me dédoubler vraiment. Quand j'allais au travail, je me dédoublais.
Qu'est-ce que vous appelez vous dédoubler?
Me dédoubler, se sentir 2 fois, 2 personnes différentes entre le travail et la maison.
Vous pourriez préciser un petit peu?
Oui. Au travail, je craignais énormément ma chef, qui était très gentille pourtant, mais je la craignais. Je l'ai toujours craint depuis le début, pourtant elle m'expliquait qu'elle était très gentille avec moi. Par contre, j'avais une autre personne qui m'a beaucoup soutenue. Et j'avais peur. Inconsciemment, j'avais peur. À un tel point que je ne pouvais plus taper à la machine. J'avais les doigts qui se raidissaient. Puis me tourner comme me tourner comme si j'étais dans un genre de blindage, dans une armure. J'étais devenue très automate.
How are you feeling?
Well,
How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you here?
That's difficult to answer.
Could you give me some idea?
Offhand, I can't.
Whose idea was it that you come here?
A psychiatrist.
And what happened that ended up with your being here in the hospital?
The psychiatrist decided that this was the situation for me.
Did he tell you why?
No, the psychiatrist did not.
Has anybody told you why?
No.
Have you any idea why?
Yes.
And what is that?
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different?
I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do. And this influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
Play the piano for people.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
I sit differently when I play the piano, and when I'm away from the piano I occasionally look differently from other people, and this has caused dislike from people.
They dislike you because you sit differently at the piano?
Yes.
What way do you sit at the piano that people would dislike you?
I cannot describe an illustration of how I sit.
And I can't imagine it, that it would make people angry at you or at least dislike you. How do you know they dislike you?
My father does, and doctors do, because of the way I appear in relationship to the way I sit at the piano, and occasionally stand when I am away from the piano because of the way I sit at the piano.
How do you stand when you're away from the piano that they dislike you?
I can't describe an illustration.
Does it feel to you any different from the way other people stand?
Yes, it feels different.
In what way?
This is becoming too involved to describe.
Would I be right in assuming then that you don't feel that you belong in the hospital, but that other people did feel that?
As soon as I express the belief that I do not belong in this hospital, which is a mental hospital, then those who dislike me want to find a worse place for me.
I'm not sure I understand. Could you make that clearer for me?
No.
Is this a way of...
A hospital? Yes, I can. As soon as I express the belief that I do not belong in this mental hospital, then those who dislike me want to find a hospital where the living conditions are not as good as this.
But why are you in the hospital in the first place? I'm not clear.
because I'm working to do something which in my life which most people do not do. This influences my thinking and occasionally my actions, and a psychiatrist has noticed this.
What has he noticed?
Likes the actions and the thinking, and has decided that I should be here to change them.
What actions?
How I talk and how I look right at this moment.
And how would you describe the way you're talking and looking right at this moment?
As other people talk, and at this moment, however, I've been told that it is not the way other people talk and look.
Have you any idea in what way it's not like others?
No, because I believe it is as other people talk.
So then, from your point of view, not from other people's point of view, from your point of view, you look, you talk, you think, you behave as other people do. You're very interested in learning to play the piano. You sit at the piano a little differently from the way someone else might, and you stand somewhat differently.
Occasionally I stand differently.
Now that, in itself, doesn't seem on the surface to be sufficient reason for being in a hospital. So what other reasons have been given to you, or what other reasons do you understand are the causes of your being here?
I'm supposed to not be mentally well.
Oh. And what's supposed to be wrong with you?
No doctor has told me.
That's hard to believe.
I tell the truth.
What are your plans? If things should go well, if you were to leave the hospital, then what?
I need financial help from my father to prepare me for obtaining a job as a piano instructor at a university where I will be able to teach people how to play the piano and also play the piano for people.
Have you had the training yet to permit you to be an instructor?
No, I have not.
Have you tried?
I don't understand what you mean by...
Have you tried to get the instruction?
Yes, I have tried.
What's happened?
I have not had the correct environment for the instruction, nor the correct financial help for the instruction, nor the correct instruction.
Have you been accepted for such instruction?
By some teachers, yes.
And by others, no?
Yes. Again. It has been about half and half.
Have you started any such instruction with those who did approve of it?
Yes.
And how has it gone?
With some it has gone well, with some it has not gone well.
Deteriorate as time goes on. There's a characteristic lack of interest in the environment, withdrawal from contact with others, and with it goes an increasing loss of emotional response. These people become vague and empty. Their manner is childish and they are gawky. They show little or no initiative and spontaneity. If they do react emotionally, their reaction is often inappropriate. They have, of course, no real plans for the future. In spite of this general impoverishment of their personality, many of their intellectual functions remain intact. Memory and orientation are not impaired. The patient we are going to see is about 40. She has been sick for more than 10 years, lives quietly in the hospital, doing simple work in the laundry. She seldom speaks unless spoken to, and does not mix with the other patients. But she is really quite contented, and her lack of energy and animation is not due to depression and despondency, but to apathy. She might, during the interview, demonstrate inappropriate emotional reaction, particularly smiling or laughing when discussing serious subjects. She complains of auditory hallucinations, voices, and strange feelings of being controlled by unseen forces, though these are not especially common symptoms in the simple type of schizophrenia.
And how long have you been here?
I think that'd be 14 months in December, beginning of December.
In this place?
Yes.
You like it here?
Yes, I like it when it's quiet.
You like it when it's quiet?
I find it too noisy, all those patients.
Sometimes it's noisy here because of the other patients.
Probably.
Why do you like it better when it's quiet? Have you always liked it quiet, or?
I've been used to living where it's quiet, except for the railway.
You told me once that you didn't like the radio.
Yes.
In the hospital.
I was unhappy when they brought the radio.
Why?
The ward was quieter without it.
Well, if you're very quiet, what are you doing? Are you reading, or are you thinking?
I'm not reading either.
You don't like reading? What are you doing?
I think music's better. Listening to music and not talking.
You like that?
Music is the best, I think.
Vera, you told me another time that sometimes you hear voices talking to you, can't see the people. Does that happen often?
Yes, I think it's all day.
All day?
Yes, I don't think my head's ever been free of anybody talking.
Can you hear them now?
Since I was a young girl.
Can you hear them now?
Oh, it's quieter now.
Or will be quiet?
And I can talk, huh? And I can talk without them.
You can talk without whom?
They take away my talking.
The voices?
Yes.
How do they do it?
I don't know.
Can you tell me what they're saying?
I don't pay any attention to what they say.
But you understand them. Why did you come here, Vera?
Must have been sick.
Are you still sick?
No, I'm much better now.
But you like staying here. Have you seen your family lately?
No, I haven't.
But aren't you feeling lonesome?
Yes, I was wishing I had a visitor.
They haven't seen you for a long time?
No.
Have you written them?
No, I haven't. I don't like writing letters.
Did they write you?
No, I haven't received any letters either. I don't know.
Think you might have a visit soon?
Possibly, if I'm good.
You know what day it is today?
Thursday.
You know what time it is about?
I'm allowed to tell.
That's quite right. 10 minutes past 12. Did you see the paper today?
No, I haven't.
Why not? Don't like reading?
I like magazines. I hate magazines. See my head up there?
Hmm?
In my head up there?
What
my head
head?
goes up there when I'm quiet.
Where's it going?
When I talk.
Where's your head going? What would you like to do now, Vera?
I was playing the piano. I was enjoying playing the piano for a few minutes.
And afterwards, what are you going to do next year?
I'd like to play the piano next year.
Well, let's suppose, just for a minute, that you would have $100,000.
Yeah.
What would you do with it?
Hospital needed it.
The hospital needed it?
Mm-hmm.
You mean you would give it to the hospital?
Probably.
And what would you do?
Expect them to keep me, huh?
Make you to keep you here?
Yeah.
Because you like it here. How do you feel?
I'm feeling better, thank you.
Feeling better? Are you sleeping well?
Yes, I'm sleeping better now.
How's your appetite? You must be feeling very lonesome, being alone so long. Are you?
Yes, I was lonely, yes.
Why are you smiling? Have you any friends here?
Yes, I have friends here.
Are you seeing them every day?
Yes, I think so.
And what do? You talk to them?
When I'm allowed to, yes.
You're always allowed to, you know.
Oh, yes.
And what would you like to do now?
Probably it's time to go back for lunch, huh?
You just had your lunch. Huh? How long ago?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. Are you hungry again?
No.
Well, let's go anyway first. We get a cup of coffee.
Yes?
All right.
What would it be good?
You have seen in this patient apathy, indifference, inappropriate emotional reaction. She was smiling when asked about loneliness, general gracelessness of posture, total lack of ambition and initiative, with no real plans for the future, hallucinations, but her memory and orientation are intact, and she was quite coherent. A characteristic picture of chronic simple schizophrenia.